Hi guys, CDC here on a quick clip. So, not much going on in the news. The news is crap all week so far. So I don't want to, focus too much on the news. However, I'm in one of those times and periods in my life where I'm having like a brain ramble, or you could call it a brain fart, whatever you want to call it. And I'm thinking to myself, if I was asked the question, who are the most exciting fighters in the UFC right now? Who would I pick? And I'm like, that's a good question. UFC has a lot of exciting fighters, and there are about 600 people on the roster. Some are boring, some are not. Some are guaranteed to give you a banger and good bang for your buck every single time they step in the octagon. So I decided to bring to you today Mr. TDC's top 5 most exciting fighters in the UFC. Right now. I'm going to list them from bottom to top, so from number 5 to number 1, and we're going to be judging them on the criteria of three yardsticks. One would be they are fan favorites. They have at least a 90% finish rate in their fights. Doesn't matter the fight, it's guaranteed at least a 90% finish rate. And the last criteria we're going to use to judge them would be their ability to entertain the crowd. So it's not skill sets, not strength, just entertainment factor, right? The do or die attitude. Let's start with number 5 on my beautiful list. Sir Alex Poatan Pereira. You can't argue that every single time Poatan gets into the ring, every fight Poatan has, doesn't matter who is fighting, we want to see it. We definitely want to see it. And Poatan likes to entertain the crowd, and Poatan has a very high finish rate in all his fights. Every single one. Well, not every single one, but most of his fights, right? For the most part. I think the only fight without a finish might have been the fight with Jan Blachowicz, where he won the light heavyweight title. But for the most part, Poatan has like a 90% finish rate in his fights. And that's why he gets my honorable number 5. Now, number 4, Michael Chandler. Guys, I know how we all feel about Michael Chandler. Trust me, I'm the guy who roasts Michael Chandler a lot in the last 2 years. But we cannot deny that Michael Chandler, every single time Chandler gets into the octagon, it's going to be war. It's going to be war, guaranteed. Doesn't matter who his opponent is. Chandler is ready to put on a spectacle of a fight for everybody. And he doesn't mind if he's going to lose. In fact, that attitude has cost him the belt, or cost him his title run, if he really is on a title run, But it's more of the entertainment factor. And I think that's probably the motivating factor as to why he was really waiting for a corner fight, because a corner fight brings eyes to the sport, and he needed the biggest stage in the world to showcase his delight for entertaining the fans. So I guess Michael Chandler gets my number 4 spot as the 4th most entertaining fighter in the UFC today. Number 3. This might sound controversial to some of y'all, but I don't know why it should. Alexander Volkanovski, the Great. Volk was one of those fighters who I actually never really liked when he was running through the ranks, because I was such a huge fan of Max Holloway when he was champion, right? Then Volk gets there and he wins Max the first time. I still am not sold on Volk. He wins Max the second time. I'm still not sold. I'm actually pretty pissed off at him at that point. But when Volk goes in there for the third and final fight with Max Holloway, and he made sure he dismantled Max Holloway, guarantees for that third fight. He won me over. He won me over, right? Even if you could argue for the first two fights, the last fight with Max Holloway, that completely sold me on Alexander Volkanovski. And then Volk went on one of the most dominant title defense runs in modern day UFC history. Just his work ethic, his willingness to fight, his grit, his determination, his no-die attitude, his resilience. How can you not love Alexander Volkanovski? How? And now you talk about skill set, his attitude in and out of the ring. Yeah, there's no wonder why Volk is a fan favorite. Even when he loses, Volk's stock doesn't really go down, you know? So he takes my number 3 spot. Number 2, some of you might agree with this or probably saw this coming. Justin Gaethje. Everybody knows that. Justin Gaethje is a modern day gladiator. Everybody knows if Justin Gaethje is coming into a fight, you don't want to be there. It's like Justin Gaethje's punches are like igniting a nuclear bomb every time it lands on somebody's face. Every time. I don't know how he does it. It doesn't even look like he has the frame for that kind of strength, but Justin Gaethje is an absolute killer. He gets my number 2 spot because he's always willing to go in there and die on his shield. He's willing to go in there for the fanfare. He's willing to go in there and just completely let himself go. That's his true passion. And now he does it, but Justin Gaethje is on my number 2 spot. Now, I would have loved to make some honorable mentions. I'm thinking Tom Aspinall, also, you know, pretty much in there. Charles Oliveira, honorable mention. Dustin Poirier, you know, a little bit honorable mention. Okay, you guys are gonna hate me for this, but Israel Adesanya is also an honorable mention on this list, you know. I thought Paulo Costa in the earlier days used to be that. Hamza Chimaev also makes my honorable mentions list. But now that we got that out the way, let's talk about the number 1 most exciting fighter in the UFC today. The blessed one, the blessed express, Mr. Max Blessed Holloway. Holloway, hands down, is the number 1 fan favorite in the UFC today. I'm telling you, get the hell out of here, Conor. Get the hell out of here, Sean O'Malley. Doesn't matter. We always want to see Max Holloway. And Max Holloway guaranteed, if he doesn't get a finish in the fight, you know that fight is going to be a banger. You know blood will be spilled. You know somebody's gonna need some surgery. Somebody's gonna need stitches. If you're in a fight with Max Holloway, guaranteed. Guaranteed. That is why every time Max fights, it's completely sold out. Every time Max's fight is coming on, we're all pumped and we're all ready to go. Hands down, the most exciting fighter in the UFC as of today, this recording, is Max Blessed Holloway. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys disagree with my list, please feel free to, share in the comment section who you think are more exciting than these top 5 fighters that I've just listed. I'm curious to know who you pick and why. TDC out. Peace.